The academic outcomes at Manzanita were horrific. Just really, really low scores, lots of problems with attendance, very little family involvement. It was a very difficult place to have any kind of academic or social emotional success with the kids because the schedule was so choppy.
The problem was for us as a parents was we feel really isolated. Like I myself, I felt like it was only my problem. I didn't know that there were so many people with the same problem. And I thought there was something wrong with my son. I didn't know that there was something wrong with the system.
My 7th and 8th year of teaching, Emma Paulino's son, McEdward, was placed in my class, and so I got to know Emma pretty well. She came to me because she was incredibly concerned about her son. He was really struggling academically. She had been told for years and years, like, oh, don't worry about it, it's gonna be okay. People weren't concerned about the fact that this child couldn't read, and he was, in late elementary school.
Ascend was one of those first 5 schools. It was the school that Emma Paulino and Larissa Adam had been working for, the school where Emma's son, McEdward, was finally able to succeed.
He felt like everybody there, they were supporting him. They were letting him know how important it was for him to really, focus on learning and the capacity that he has and the intelligence that he has. He did great. He really did great at the school.
5 years after it opened, the district built Ascend a new building.
Ask either Norma or Margarita would know also what time you guys should be here.
Larissa Adam is the principal.
I see my primary role as keeper of the vision and making sure that whatever resources we have are going towards making that vision a reality.
Japanese interment essay, that's the next thing coming up. So that's May 22nd, so that'll be based on all of the notes that we're doing.
We make sure that every teacher has really high expectations for the kids.
First, the last chapter was called Almost a Family.
We really believe that our kids could be doing amazing things, but nobody has been expecting them to do that.
I do have your progress reports to give to you.
They've been, labeled as flatland kids who are, they're socioeconomically deprived and people have had low expectations. Well, it's not true. You're going to get what you expect. And so our expectations were really high.
Our job today is to construct. Monica and Judith from last class cut them out and put them step by step on how they did them. This is my 2nd year at Ascend, but this is my 9th year teaching. It's really hard work here, but it's the kind of work that you definitely see the payoff. Okay, your checklist is done, but what you could do, other places that I've been, I see a snapshot of their lives for 9 months, and it's 140 kids or whatever it might be, and it's just impossible to build those relationships that you can build here. This wedge is facing down like this, so the car can roll over it.
Yeah,
is that right?
The lever is like this.
Yep. And where's the wedge when it starts?
Like somewhere here or here? It's like a side, and then so that it will go through.
I've had these kids for 2 years now. This is my 2nd year with them. And I know their families, and they've been at the school for a long time, and many teachers know them, and it's definitely much more of a community feel where we are all working to help that child, and we can definitely see the payoffs when we all work together.
Let's say this is the road. The car is gonna, this is the road over here. The car is gonna go like this, and then the road is not gonna let it go back, and then we. Then it helps out the lever.
Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect sense. So we don't even need the wedge, right? I think that'll work fine. Yeah. In my head, it's working out. In your heads, is it working out? Yeah. It sounds like you have problem solved and figured it out. Okay. Nice job.
Is there a specific reason why those were the 2 types of minerals they used?
We're not sure. Maybe it's because they were easier to find.
It's very important what we see going on in the classroom. Like, are kids being reflective? Do they understand how they're learning? Do they understand why they're learning what they're learning? Are they engaged? Are they developing a love of learning so that they don't, become kids who just memorize some facts to be able to regurgitate them on a test, and then they leave and they don't, have any kind of inquisitiveness into anything else.
Since Ascend opened, student scores on standardized tests have steadily improved.
The meals in the mess halls are really bad. It tastes disgusting, but we still have to eat it because we're hungry.
The standardized testing is really important to us because we need some kind of quantitative measure to see how we're doing. And the kinds of tests that kids take for the standardized testing are the same types of tests they're going to be taking, like the SAT to get into college. Our kids have to know how to do well on these tests so that they can make the choice to go to college if that's what they would like to do. You cannot teach every single kid the same way. Every child is different, and we needed to make sure that we were tailoring our instruction in order to meet the kids' needs. When we were first doing this movement, people were very skeptical. They said, well, you're not going to get any different results. And we've proved that, yes, we are getting better academic results. By being successful, we are basically saying, look, you can have a higher standard. And so what's the excuse for continuing to have lower standards in other areas and for continuing with schools that aren't working, that are broken? You can't excuse it anymore.